In 1947, Dr. Mary Malahlela graduated from Wits University, becoming one of the first black female doctors, and since then, women have been cementing themselves in medicine. My name is Dr Mothapo, and thank you so much for joining me on my journey to becoming Dr. Mothapo. Tonight, I'll be joined by black female doctors who, in their own right, will be letting us know of just how important representation is. Now, these doctors are not just medical doctors. They're people who are pursuing all of who they are while practicing medicine. Now, these doctors have taken time out of their busy schedule to answer one or two few questions to let us know just how valid we are, how important our dreams are, and how we deserve a place in society. I hope you enjoy.
Hi everyone, Nosipho Mhlanga. To those of you that don't know me, I am a recent Wits graduate. I survived 7 York Road, guys. It's a miracle every day. And I'm currently working as a medical intern at Grasani Baragwanath Hospital. Now, enough about me, back to the question at hand. So the question was, what is the significance of Women's Month to women in medicine? And I think I'll approach this question by answering what I think the significance of Women's Month is to women across the board, because I feel that our lived experience is the same no matter which background we come from. We all have the same issues, face the same challenges, and we all have the same wins. So we're going to talk about what I think the significance of Women's Month is to women in general. Now, Women's Month to me is a time to reflect and to celebrate the achievements of women, to celebrate what we've done, to celebrate what we've overcome, and to celebrate how women have managed to thrive even against adversity. What's so beautiful to me is women are still making moves all around us. Every day there's something incredible that a woman has done, and I mean, now especially I've started to see a large influx of women on social media, which is another space that I dabble in commonly, opening businesses, starting brands, and people are doing really well for themselves. And I think what makes the achievements of women even more heightened and even more special is how women are head and shoulders below their opposite sex counterparts, that being men. Women have to do more, they have to prove more, they have to thrive more, they have to work twice as hard to be considered as good as the man. But even with all that adversity, we thrive, and that's so amazing to me. And I think that's what's so special about what women achieve, and that's also why it's so important to celebrate what women achieve.
Hi everybody, my name is Reproductive. I'm currently a final year medical student at the University of Stellenbosch, and I am a part-time model as well as a YouTuber. So the question I'm going to be answering is what my advice is to young girls and women that are hoping to one day pursue medicine. And I can only answer this based on one of my very favorite quotes that I try to live by every single day. And that is, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. I think that this is a very fitting quote because I think that as women, it's very easy for us to try to dim our lights in order to make other people comfortable. It's very easy to feel insecure and not confident enough to take up the space and to take up the positions that we need to actually make a change in our communities, to see our faces in those positions. I can't stress how important and how beautiful it is to see another woman, a doctor, an engineer, a pilot, making the changes and chasing their dream. So I think that if you have a passion for anything, definitely go forward for it. Don't let anybody hinder your growth. Don't let anybody tell you you cannot do it, because if I had listened to people, I definitely would not be in this position. I definitely would not be where I am. It's literally just been a virtue of my hard work, prayer, and more hard work. So if you have a passion for medicine, if you see yourself in this position, definitely go for it. If you love working with people, definitely go for it. If you love science like me, definitely go for it. And yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Faith Makhubele, a senior medical student at Becoming Dr Health Sciences University, former Medunsa. Born and raised in a small town called Louis-Trichardt in Makhado, Limpopo. And so I want to tell you about my journey of becoming a medical student. When I was young, I always believed in myself, and my parents always made me believe in the power that was in me and the power that is in the God that I serve. And so when I was young, I had great dreams to change the world and to change people around me, but also change the world in me and around me. And so that is the reason why I became an activist, and being an activist was the reason why I traveled to so many places. When I started doing debate from a young age in grade 9, I went for provincial debating, which opened so many doors for me in public speaking, where I then started traveling and working with the United Nations in 2017 at the United Nations Youth Summit. My doors started opening when I believed in my power and believed in myself as a young leader, when I then got the scholarship for the A.B. Bailey Scholarship, and it allowed me to travel to Scotland, London, Ethiopia, the African Union. We learned so much. In 2019, I then got the opportunity to speak at the World Bank Forum, speaking about the Fourth Industrial Revolution and its impact in Africa. Not only that, I then got an opportunity to go to the United Nations and speak on the World Democracy Report 2019. And so I think what I'm trying to tell the young girls today is that if you believe in yourself and believe in the power that you have, you can be whatever that you think of. You are as great as you believe that you can be. There is no rural area, there's nothing that can stop you from your wildest dreams. I remember when I was applying for medicine, I didn't have 8 distinctions like other people, but I still got in because I believed and I did work hard. When I applied for other things like the A.B. Bailey Scholarship, which was very tough and very hard, I made sure that I believed in myself. And so I want to tell young girls in this Women's Month that believe in yourself, believe in your power, and believe that you deserve to be in this world, and this world can be changed by you.
The message I'd like to give women, young girls, lovely people out there who want to pursue a career in medicine in the short time that I've walked this journey is 3 major things. Number 1, believing in your capabilities. Number 2, no man is an island. And number 3, be still. It's so easy, when we're compared and by people to other people, when you compare yourself to other people, it's easy to forget what makes you, what makes you the individual you are, what makes you magical, what makes you the best person to walk in this journey. It's easy to forget. And I think remembering your capabilities, remembering those things about you that make you stand out is of utmost importance, because when things go wrong, when you feel like you can't do this anymore, whether you're failing or you're succeeding at whatever it is you have planned to do, remembering your capabilities pushes you that much further to do those things. And you can't do it on your own. No man is an island. That's why we do this with people. The core of this career is working with people. So learn from them. Take that time to grow with people, to hear what they have to say. Learn to be corrected. There's no fault in being wrong, because when you're wrong, then you correct it and you do what's right. So don't take things personally. Learn from others, grow with others. People have so much wealth of knowledge to share. Listen and take that and use it as your platform to grow. Last but not least, be still. For me, it's more of a spiritual thing of being still and knowing He's God. But even if you're not spiritual, even if you don't believe in a higher power, taking a moment within the chaos to breathe, to meditate, to remember why you got into this is so important. When you're feeling overwhelmed or fatigued or burnt out and you just don't want to do this anymore, be still. Take a moment. It won't solve all your problems, but it will help you to restart and remember.
So if I were to advise my 18-year-old self through medical school, there are 2 things that I would highlight. The first being the importance of having a mentor. I realized that as I develop my professional career, it's very important to have someone who's more experienced, someone who emulates the kind of professional that you would like to become. I think it's also very important to have an accountability partner. A lot of changes happen through the 7 odd years or more that you spend in varsity, in medical school, trying to navigate your way through. You question whether or not you've made the correct decision. You have a change of heart, interests change. So having someone there to guide you through it goes a long way. The second thing would be granting yourself the opportunity to network with other people outside the field of medicine. I think it not only makes life easier for you, but it makes you a more well-rounded person who's more relatable. And it just makes you a bit more interested. You have different conversations, different kind of experiences with people. I personally struggled with this a bit in varsity because I was
very into like my books, and I didn't want to steer away from it as much, and I found that it was a scheduling nightmare to hang out with people who aren't in medical schools because, for instance, your exams happen at different times, so maybe social events are also now happening when you're writing exams. So it was just more convenient to hang around medics, and it was very relatable because we're all going through the same journey.
Hi guys, so my name is Katlego Lekalakala. To some people I'm Dr. Lekalakala, and I was asked by Dr Mothapo how I was able to balance being a makeup artist as well as doing medicine, and my answer to that is that it was actually pretty easy. And the reason why it was easy is because it was necessary for me to do both. I had no other choice. So I started makeup when my parents had hit a financial war and we were struggling, so I had to work. And at first I started with being a bartender, but it wasn't conducive for my lifestyle, so I had to come up with another option, and that option was being a makeup artist. And luckily I had done makeup artistry before, so I knew there was a definite market for it. So it was easy for me to push it and do what I needed to do because I needed the money. I really needed the money. And on the other hand, I needed to become a doctor because it was somewhat a passion of mine, and secondly, it was something that I knew for certain was going to ensure that I had financial security for the rest of my life. So it was easy for me to balance both because I knew when to give and take from the other, and one was not more important than the other at any point. And luckily I was in love with both, so I didn't mind having to sacrifice the leisure time that I would get, that I should have been getting when I wasn't studying or when I wasn't doing makeup, to do one or the other, So if you are a person who is thinking of starting a business and you're studying right now, I say please go out and do it. You definitely can do it. No one will ever take your degree from you except for you. So you need to ensure that whatever you do, you're passionate about it, but it will never overshadow your passion for whatever you're studying. Okay, so I'm definitely living proof that you can definitely do both, and you'll get the grades that you want. I got the distinctions that I wanted, and I'm very happy. So yeah.
In a health system that is wrought with challenges, why do I decide to stay in medicine? I love what I do. I love the actual work, the fixing of bones. I love interacting with both my colleagues and the patients that I see. But it seems like whether it's to try and get a surgical intervention or a pharmacological intervention, all the way up to the bureaucracy and policies that are being placed, you're always just fighting to do what you want to do. And I think that's what pulls people away from the public sector, because it's energy draining. And I think for me, I feel like that constant fight is worth it. So what makes me stay here as opposed to leave is that I still have the love, which I feel like everyone has, but it's compounded by, praise the Lord, an insurmountable energy or passion and feeling of purpose that I can still fight the fight, because I feel like the fight is worth it. The people that I'm fighting for, the end result is worth the fight.
I could have done anything in the world. I could have chosen anything in the world. God could have chosen anybody else apart from me to do medicine. But I choose to keep moving forward because I love what I do. I love working with people. I love working with kids. I love to make a difference in the small little actions. And for me, especially being in pediatrics, it's sort of transitioned into an aspect of making a better future, because I'm treating where the future starts. So it's not because it's a thing of being better than somebody else or just being better than the person that I think is my competition, but it's just being better in who I want to be and what life is meant to be. You're meant to be better than you were yesterday.
In the time that I have been in the game, what I've noticed is that there has been what I would call an internal change. So not so much a change that we've seen coming from the external or the outside, people giving us permission, rather us as women giving ourselves permission. And more specifically, as a Black woman in medicine, or Black woman in medicine, I felt that there has been this awareness of self, but also an understanding that we deserve to be in certain spaces where we otherwise would not have been, and a making of noise, if I can say that. So speaking in our space, and people finally turning to see, not shying away, not hiding. I know personally for me, when I'm in certain rooms, boardrooms or meetings, saying the things even though my voice is shaking, because I know I deserve to be there. And then the next change, which is really refreshing for me, has come from my students. I've been fortunate enough to teach medics, and what I've seen, which is so refreshing, is 5th years and 6th years and 4th year female doctors, shout out Lesejo, self-aware, and most importantly for me, the young Black females who have a voice, strong voice, as individuals and as a collective, and who have a degree of agency that they exercise fully. And so that has been so encouraging for me to see that sort of change for women in my career.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sindisiwe van Zyl, and I'd like to talk to you about looking after your mental health during this time of COVID-19. We know that COVID-19 has taken its toll on many of us. It's taken its toll emotionally, it's taken its toll financially, it's taken its toll socially, and it's really important for you to look after your mental health during this time. There is a lot of stigma around mental health, and it's important that once you recognize that you might not be feeling okay, to get professional help. It's not always easy to disclose how you're feeling to people around you because they may not always understand, because, as I said, of the stigma around mental illness. So seeking professional help is important. There are organizations such as the Southern African Depression and Anxiety Group. They have call centers that are open 24 hours a day, so you can always reach out to them. And what are the symptoms that there might be a problem? I know I'm living with depression, so I'll always speak about depression first. That one of the things that changes is your interest in things that used to interest you. So all of a sudden you're not interested in getting out of bed, completing tasks. You're very weepy. You're emotionally unstable. Some people might be preoccupied with the idea of dying. I know that I lost my appetite and I lost weight involuntarily. I couldn't make decisions. So those might be markers that there's something going on. And of course, you'd have to seek professional help. There is a difference between depression and the blues. The blues is when you feel a bit down about something and then after a few days you're okay again. But depression persists, so the feeling of sadness persists, and of course it starts affecting your everyday life. So be on the lookout for those symptoms and make sure that you get the help that you need. I speak out very openly about my depression because I've realized that there's still a lot of misunderstanding and myths around it, and I've committed to using my platforms on social media to educate people about mental illness and about depression and make sure that people get the help that they need. So hang in there, and if you do need help, please get the help that you need.
As a recent graduate, I'd say that working during this pandemic has been a disadvantage to me. Hence, I'm not getting enough exposure as I've anticipated. However, working during this pandemic has made me realize that I have to prioritize my health first in order to help the community. And in doing so, it differs from each individual. But what works for me to keep sane is by taking it one step at a time, and also keeping fit and sane by working out.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Mufugeng. Most of you just call me Dr. T, which is fantastic. And today I just want to share with you my ideas around how women can improve the manner in which they seek help around sexual and reproductive health needs. it is important to talk about the issue of stigma firstly, because that's what keeps people away. The fear of judgment, makes people really anxious. And that's why many of you, when I even speak to you, you say, this is why I haven't been going to the clinic, or that's why I didn't go for my follow-up, because I'm just so tired and so nervous and stressed around the issues of stigmatization and judgment. It's important to remind you today that your right to health, including reproductive health, are human rights, and they are human rights that are also expressed and are protected in our own constitution in South Africa. So when you are seeking services around your body, around your sexuality, around any gender related issues, any reproductive health related issues, you do deserve dignity. You deserve to be treated with confidentiality, in privacy, and you deserve to be given options that are comprehensive and that are holistic. One of the ways that you can improve how you can make the best out of your consultations is to keep a diary, note down your symptoms, write how they are impacting your life, your quality of life, so that when you are having a discussion with your healthcare provider, you can be clearer, you will be less nervous because you have all your symptoms written down. And please go for your screening, your annual health checkup, your cervical cancer screening, your STI screening. All of those screenings are important because we can pick up quite early if there are any areas of concern. But most importantly, know that your rights to sexual and reproductive health care are human rights.
Every single woman is a beautiful and divine vessel, and as a black woman and as a doctor, I'm inspired by the black women who have gone before me and done this, especially with the challenges that black women face, being black and also being a woman. And it's inspiring to know that we can overcome those things. It gives you confidence to want to overcome so much more. I hope that other people draw inspiration from us, and I do hope that we continue to jump over hurdles, surpass obstacles, and that also other people continue to realize our importance in this industry, and that we protect each other in this time, that we are kind to each other, I pray. And that's really what I hope for all of us, that we are kind, that we show kindness, and that we guide each other, and that we're not afraid to give each other advice on how to get and on how to move forward. It's been a beautiful journey. I hope that I continue to achieve so much more. And I also wish luck to all the black women in this country, not only doctors, but every professional and every young girl who wants to achieve her dreams.
My real hope, though, is with making an impact on women. My real hope is on influencing the women to know that the rights that they have, they can actually exercise it on their own. My real hope is in influencing women to ensure that they take their lives into their own hands, that they make the decisions for themselves regarding their sexual and reproductive health.
My hope for women in medicine is simply that they would be courageous, that they would find within themselves the courage to become everything they imagine they could and should be in this space. There are still industries that need to be defined in medicine. There are still things to disrupt and interrupt to make sure we enjoy a healthcare sector we dreamt we would when we started off these journeys pursuing medicine. And my hope for you all is just that you would find courage to know that your ideas matter, that you are valuable far beyond the context of the hospital you work in now, or the point in your journey you are, whether you're an intern, a reg, or a ComServe, but valuable enough to know that who you are to become in this space is needed. I hope you find the courage to know what that is, and I hope you pursue it even if you can't see it today. So if you don't see women who don't look like you in medicine, if you don't find anyone you can see that you can relate to, maybe it's because you're supposed to be the first. I hope you find the courage to be the first and sometimes the only, so we can all glean from your experience and your journey.
And in the words of Charlotte Matleke, if you can rise, bring someone with you. These are the values that the doctors that we saw today are embracing. I hope that tonight's video did not only inspire you, but gave you hope beyond the difficulties that exist, and that you saw your face reflected in theirs. I hope that next time you think of a woman in medicine, you think of the orthopedic surgeon, the makeup artist, the author. I hope that you think of you. Thank you for joining me and honoring these women in medicine. And as always, let's keep the love going, let's keep the channel growing, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!